So we got more news coming. This story just seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But before we get into that, I just want to talk about something that has just happened today, where we have R. Kelly indicted by the feds. So the singer faces sex crime, child porn, and obstruction of justice charges, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Singer R. Kelly faces 9 counts of enticing a minor, 3 counts of child pornography, and 1 count of obstruction of justice in a federal indictment unsealed Friday in Chicago. Seems like this is the era of actually taking down these people who have been committing crimes associated with sexual misconduct, trafficking, and abuse of women. But on top of that, let's get into some more of this Epstein case. So we've got Alexander Acosta, after his absolutely disgraceful press conference where he looked smug and just unapologetic. He didn't apologize. The guy looked like a creep. He looked like he didn't give a crap about these women, didn't give a crap about the case, didn't care about his conduct, acted like it was no big deal the whole time. I mean, look at this guy. Look at his face. I mean, this guy looks like a toad. And if you don't know the backstory on it, prosecutor in Florida that gave Epstein solicitation of prostitution charges. So I'm personally pretty happy about this. I'm glad Alex Acosta is stepping down, because the guy looks to be a completely disgraceful piece of crap. Just an absolute degenerate, a psychopath. Look at this guy. Makes you believe in physiognomy. I mean, look at his face. I don't know. There's just something not right there. Anyway, let's move on. So, another person that really needs to be brought up is Alan Dershowitz, which I feel he's gotten away with so much. This guy somehow just keeps getting out of the limelight when it comes to these cases. But he was directly accused of abusing women. This is from April of this year. It just needs to be known. People need to call this guy out. He's a professor at Harvard. This guy is another very high-profile individual who is in the media on a regular basis and has somehow gotten away with this over and over and over again. And I have no doubt, in my mind at least, that the accusations against this man are 100% correct. A new accuser has come forward against Jeffrey Epstein, claiming the billionaire pedophile and his alleged madam, British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, sexually assaulted her and her underage sister on different occasions in the 1990s. The allegations surfaced Tuesday as part of a defamation suit Virginia Roberts Guifer filed against Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz, a friend and attorney of Epstein's, who helped secure a controversial plea deal for Epstein after he was arrested in 2006 for molesting dozens of minor girls in his Palm Beach mansion. Moving on, Maria Farmer, the alleged victim, also claimed she witnessed Dershowitz visit Epstein's Manhattan mansion and head upstairs where she says underage girls were present. Deborah has long claimed that Epstein kept her as a sex slave and loaned her to his famous friends, including Prince Andrew. She filed the lawsuit against Dershowitz in New York federal court, claiming the high-profile defense lawyer was also a participant in sex trafficking, including as one of the men to whom Epstein lent out her for sex. I hope all these people go down for their crimes. Most people know that Bill Clinton has been directly associated with this individual. Bill Clinton identified in lawsuit against his former friend and pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein, who had quote-unquote regular orgies at his Caribbean compound that the former president visited multiple times. The former president was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, a financier who was arrested in 2008 for soliciting underage prostitution, so on and so forth. And this shouldn't really surprise anybody. Clinton has long been known as a sexual degenerate, multiple claims of rape and molestation all through his career. Alright, so moving on to another aspect of this whole thing, that here we have the Virgin Islands compound, Epstein's private island. This weird Virgin Islands area seems to have many connections to different sex trafficking organizations throughout recent history. Horror cults' wild parties NXIVM sex slave cult held wild parties and seminars on Sir Richard Branson's private island Necker. This is very interesting because this is the same area, the same little region where Epstein's island is, where he allegedly took many young women to be abused by men from around the world, powerful men who were involved in this sex trafficking ring. Yep, Branson would have been the biggest score they ever had. Several group members, including co-founder Nancy Salzman, visited Necker for 2 seminars in 2007 and 2010. Keith Rainier did not attend either trip. Yeah, Rainier being the guy who is the cult leader of NXIVM. Another weird connection made in this case. So here we have, just showing that billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein is illegally building Virgin Islands compound, going into all of this. But what is going on with this Virgin Islands area? We have this Richard Branson guy, the aptly named founder of Virgin Group in the 1970s. This guy is connected with Virgin Records, later known as Virgin Megastores. I mean, the naming of this is just so ironic and it's just weird. So these people involved in trafficking young girls, many of them well below the age of consent, are taken to the Virgin Islands to have sick men have their way with them. This is the Necker Island guy who has connections with NXIVM. This is the deep state people talk about. These are the creepy psychos. So you can see here, he's the founder of the Virgin Group and has a residence in the British Virgin Islands. That's where he lives. It's all just so weird. Virgin. But yeah, this Richard Branson guy appears to be perhaps the ringleader. Branson launched Virgin Mobile. We got Virgin Records, Virgin Mobile. Entry into space travel and Virgin Media. Oh man, yeah, these people just make me sick. This story just keeps getting more and more interesting. The more you look into it, the more crazy it gets. I hope you all have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. We're going to be releasing more and more videos as time goes on, so we need your support. Tune in, and we'll be back soon.